Okay, so little Torin here has met pretty much all of our requirements for his early education. And today we're going to put him out in the pasture with our chaperone horse, Solano. But the last thing I want to show you guys is the little bit of preparation we've done with him to get ready to have his feet handled. And this is one of those places where a lot of folks either don't do it at all, and then you have like a 18-month-old who doesn't have very good balance and who doesn't really know what's going on, trying to be trimmed for the first time, and that first trim just ends in tears and it sets the horse up for a life of misery around the farrier. And the human probably doesn't have a great time too, and it's just something that can be so easily avoided. And the other thing that I have to do with older horses quite a bit is get ropes around their feet and kind of teach them how to relax and how to give to a little bit of pressure around that fetlock. And it is so much harder for an adult horse to sort that out than a youngster, just like everything else. So before I do that, I'm just moving him around on my halter a little bit just to see where he's at today. And I've got my lariat rope that I'm just rubbing on him and seeing if there's anywhere on his body where he doesn't like this touching him. And I've had my flag on him, and I've had kind of this flannel that I'm wearing. I've kind of tossed that up on his back a little bit. It's just all the same stuff that I'd be doing with an older horse, getting him ready to saddle. And if he gets it all at this age, I'm probably not going to have to do all that much of it when he's older, and it's just going to save him some miles. But he's doing really well with letting those coils send his front end across, and he's shifting back and going way out and around me. Little guys like this usually want to fall forward in that change of direction just to accelerate through that change of eyes. Very normal. But he's doing a really good job kind of rewriting that. Very good. I'll come over here and show him my coils. He says, oh, I'm a little worried about those on the right side. No problem. But he knows enough about the halter now that he's not pulling away from me. He's just kind of figured out how to move his feet. And I've taught him enough about how I operate that he knows that if he's worried about something like this, I'm not going to force it on him. And I'm not going to make him stop, and I'm not going to make it unpleasant. I'm just going to say, you walk away from that until you think maybe you don't need to. Right there, he said, okay, I'm going to try to get my feet settled. I'll offer it to him again. A little bit less of a startle that time, a little more curiosity. Oh, I'll pet him with it. He says, oh, okay. And the coils are kind of a neat tool because they've got a little bit rougher texture than something like a flag or my hand. And they just feel a little different. They make a different sound. They look different. But they're also kind of stiff in the way they operate. So they don't flap and they don't make a lot of noise. But visually, they're just a different deal. When he settles, I'll say, how about now? He says, well, I'm not sure yet. And if I just kind of go with him, this is going to show up in a second when we start working with his feet too, where I'm just trying to help him figure out how to get settled and how to prepare to be curious about this instead of afraid. There. That was a little bit softer. He was able to stay mentally when that came up and petted him. I'll rub it in his cinch area, that spot that's really ticklish for some horses. It's just not really been much trouble for him. I'll rub him on his rump and his hind legs, and he's being pretty chill about it, so I might even cozy up to him here and let it hang down the other side. And gosh, that's just going to put us so far ahead when we go to start saddling. What? Oh, right. And Kiara just mentioned blanketing too. Absolutely. He's going to wear a blanket for the first time, maybe tomorrow or the next day, just to get him ready for that, should it get so cold here that he needs one. And feeling this thing rub him all over with this little firmer texture and cross over his midline and touch him on the other side. And especially just the way I'm kind of tossing it up here and then letting it come down nice and soft. Well, if he can live with this, he'll be about halfway to being able to do that big, crinkly, scary blanket. Very good. So there he was kind of able to think about settling his feet while I was tossing that up there while he was moving. And there he thought about leaving, but he stayed. Very good. So I'm glad that I decided to get these out today because I haven't had these around him hardly at all, except for when he was working on the lariat. But in that case, there's so much rope work going into it that he doesn't have a lot of time to think about these coils. So while he's walking here, I'll take that up and set it down real soft. And I might kind of bring this up a little fast, but I'm always going to have it land on him super soft. He does not need these things slapping on him and teaching him how to be scared. Very good. So again, I'll cozy up here. I'll let these hang over his other side. Very nice. I will go back the other way one more time because this left side got pretty good. He says, yeah, I don't really mind stuff touching me on the left, but the right's a little bit more concerned. Really nice shape there, though. Oh, there he's working his mouth. So maybe I'll just kind of wave these in the air a little further away from him, just like they're my flag. And when he thinks about pulling away just a little bit, I'm just closing my fingers on the rope and having him figure out how to stay. Good. There, he's working his mouth. He just settled all four square there. I'll show these to him again. He says, not yet. But he's walking off nice and soft, so I'll just start to pet him with him while he's moving. I'd say it's no coincidence that the side that's a little bit more confident about being touched by stuff is also the side that's a little bit more freed up and comfortable moving its feet. The right side isn't flowing quite as well all the way through from behind to the front as the left is. And that's changing day by day because we keep getting the weaker side caught up, and then often it's the stronger side the next day. But the side that really is confident figuring out how to move in confinement is the side that's going to have greater capacity to approach scary things. All right, that was a pretty good little change, so we'll move it along.